You think you know what a big pickup truck looks like? An F-450? A Ram 3500 dually? That's big, but it's not this, because what you are about to hear about are vehicles that technically qualify as pickup trucks, yet feel like someone accidentally bolted a pickup bed onto a commercial semi. Some have 6 wheels. Some weigh more than delivery trucks. One was engineered around a legal number, and the final one weighs 27,500 pounds. And here is the part nobody talks about. These trucks were not built just to be bigger. They were built to sit in the gray space between consumer vehicle and commercial equipment. That gray space is where things get wild. Let's start where it still feels somewhat normal. The Hennessey VelociRaptoR 6x6. This truck starts life as a Ford Raptor. Then it gets stretched. A third axle is added. The frame is extended. The proportions shift from aggressive to absurd. It stretches to nearly 27 feet long, 6 driven wheels, roughly 700 horsepower, around 6,500 pounds curb weight. From a distance, it looks like a Raptor that has been photoshopped. Up close, it feels like a desert military prototype. But here is what makes it important. It still behaves like a pickup. You sit in it like a pickup. You steer it like a pickup. You park it like a pickup, if you are brave. This is the entry point. Because from here, the trucks stop pretending to be conventional. Now we move into factory-built insanity. The Mercedes-AMG G63 6x6. This was not a tuner project. This came from Mercedes, nearly 19 feet long, over 7 feet wide, more than 4,000 kilograms in weight. Portal axles, 3 locking differentials, luxury cabin, 6 powered wheels. It is half military machine, half luxury yacht. And suddenly, big pickup turns into rolling engineering flex. But even this is still based on a luxury SUV platform. We have not crossed into true commercial territory yet. That shift happens now. Imagine that the G63 6x6 went through a transformation. It became more extreme, more stretched, more aggressive. That is where the Brabus XLP 800 6x6 lives, over 6 meters long, about 4,500 kilograms, carbon fiber bodywork, upgraded suspension, massive power output. This is not about practicality. It is about scale. At this stage, size becomes identity. But so far, everything we have mentioned could still be classified as exotic performance vehicles. Now we move into something different, something industrial. The Chevrolet Kodiak C4500 pickup conversion. This is where the tone changes. It has a 17,500 pound gross vehicle weight rating, medium-duty commercial frame, towering cab height. This truck doesn't look aggressive, it looks purposeful. It feels like a box truck that shed its cargo body and kept the chassis. Because that's essentially what happened. These were built on platforms meant for delivery vehicles and utility fleets. And when you see one with a pickup bed attached, it doesn't look oversized. It looks out of place. Now meet its sibling. The GMC TopKick C4500. Same 17,500 pound class. Same medium-duty bones. But here's the psychological shift. When you see a TopKick in traffic, you don't compare it to other pickups. You compare it to commercial trucks. It sits higher. It rides heavier. It occupies more of the road than most drivers are comfortable with. At this point, the category starts bending. Are these pickups, or are they commercial rigs pretending? That question becomes more complicated as we step into the next tier. Now we enter the world of dedicated heavy haulers. Sport chassis trucks are built on Freightliner M2 platforms. Some configurations show gross vehicle weight ratings around 19,500 pounds. These are built specifically for massive fifth-wheel towing. Horse trailers, luxury recreational vehicles, mobile homes on wheels. You don't just drive one, you command it. You sit high above traffic. You look down at dually pickups like they're compact trucks. But even this isn't the real twist. The real twist is a number, 25,999. That number changes everything, because in many situations, 26,000 pounds becomes a regulatory threshold. So what happens when a manufacturer builds a pickup truck that sits just under that number? You get the International MXT, about 252 inches long, nearly 96 inches wide, 15,000-pound gross vehicle weight rating. It's massive, but it still feels like a transitional vehicle. The real statement arrives with the International CXT, roughly 21.5 feet long, over 9 feet tall, gross vehicle weight rating of 25,999 pounds. Not 26,000, 25,999. That is not random. That is deliberate engineering to stay under a key licensing threshold in many jurisdictions, so technically it can exist as a pickup. But functionally, it is a commercial truck wearing a bed. When you see one in person, the scale feels wrong. It makes 3/4-ton trucks look undersized. It makes 1-ton dualies look ordinary. And then comes the longer sibling, the International RXT, about 272 inches long. That's over 22 feet from bumper to bumper. The wheelbase stretches, the stance flattens. The truck becomes more highway hauler than off-road brute. At this point, we're not talking about big pickups anymore. We are talking about road presence. These trucks don't blend into traffic, they redefine it. And finally, we reach the one that removes any illusion. The SportChassis P4XL, approximately 264 inches long, 100 inches wide. Gross vehicle weight rating is around 27,500 pounds. Let that sink in. 27,500 pounds. That is heavier than many commercial delivery trucks. Freightliner foundation, commercial suspension, massive frame, air ride systems. It dwarfs everything we have mentioned. And this is where the realization hits. Pickup truck isn't a size category. It is a body style. Once you pass 20 feet in length and cross into 25,000-pound territory, you are not driving something oversized. You are operating machinery. So next time someone says they drive a big truck, you will know there are layers to that word. There is heavy duty. There is medium duty. There is six-wheel luxury insanity. And then there are 27,500-pound pickup-shaped Freightliners. And now the real question. If parking didn't matter, if fuel economy didn't matter, if practicality didn't matter, which one would you actually choose? The stretched six-wheel Raptor? The AMG 6x6 statement piece? The legal limit International? Or the full supervillain sport chassis? Because now you understand something most people don't. Massive isn't about horsepower. It is about crossing the invisible line between vehicle and equipment. And every truck on this list crossed it.